listening to me. What I'm asking you to do is give us, I don't want us to have a hearing and then we come back and hear the same stuff. So if you tell me 3 months, I would suggest the chairman, and he'll do what he chooses. I understand that, Mr. Chairman. I'll give you 3.5 if you say 3. If you say 2, I'll say 2.5. But we gotta have answers, and we gotta act on this with the urgency of now. So how long will it take to get those questions answered that you just asked?
All I can tell you, Mr. Chairman, is that we are holding people accountable now to meet those standards, and we're working towards getting to each of those sites that meet the standards.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you for your indulgence. I just think, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, and Mr. Ranking Member, I really think we have to set some deadlines. Because other than that, we'll be hearing this over and over and over again, and I just hope that we can do that in a bipartisan way where we can get to the bottom of this.
The gentleman yield. Chairman, allow me to make a statement on that. Thank you. Look, I think we're maybe yelling at the wrong people here on that. When we had the hearing out at Walter Reed, when this thing first broke, we wanted to hold the people at the top accountable, not necessarily the people that are out there slugging away every day trying to get these things done and taking the heat on that. We had the hearing in March of 2007. The Army Surgeon General, who was the top Army officer responsible for the failures out there, resigned. That was followed by the commander of Walter Reed, the Army Secretary. They resigned. And in July of 2007, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. I suggest, Mr. Chairman, at the next hearing, we don't keep pestering this group of people who are out there working, trying to take orders or anything like that. We kick it up a notch, and we have some accountability for the people that are supposed to be. So, we found out the Surgeon General lived across from Walter Reed. So he was a surgeon, he was a member of the services, and he was a neighbor and hadn't visited. I mean, these things are just unacceptable. And to keep, forcing these folks, the good folks, to come in front of us and explain what's going wrong, they can only do so much unless somebody at the top takes responsibility for working out these things. And if a large part of it is personnel, then these folks aren't necessarily going to be able to make that decision. Somebody's got to call to Congress's attention that we need X amount of dollars for the following personnel. They have to be assigned to the following locations and move it on. So my respectful recommendation is that we consider bringing in folks at the top level decision-making thing and holding them responsible. And I think the American people have the same response. They'll require some accountability on this.
I would concur with both the ranking member and Mr. Cummings as well. While I appreciate the two people that have been here testifying today, it is an embarrassment to the Veterans Affairs. It is an embarrassment to the Department of Defense to not send the most senior-most people to this committee. They owe these responses to the American people. I would hope we could work in a bipartisan way. If we have to issue subpoenas to get them here, we will issue subpoenas. But to have people come here that aren't even in the meeting on May 2nd, with all due respect, is an embarrassment to those two agencies. We need answers. This has gone on for years and years and years. And no longer will this committee put up with the tolerance of just saying, well, we're putting together and we're having meetings. It's not acceptable. It is absolutely not acceptable. We'll work together in a bipartisan way to make that happen. And I totally concur with the comments that were just made here.